Wole Soyinka is a Nigerian playwright, poet, essayist, and political activist. He was born on July 13, 1934 in Abeokuta, Nigeria. He is the first African to win the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1986 and has been a vocal advocate for human rights and democracy in Nigeria and beyond. Soyinka was born into a Yoruba family and he grew up in a multicultural environment that influenced his later works. He attended the University of Ibadan where he studied English literature and he later pursued further studies in England at the University of Leeds. In the early 1960s, he returned to Nigeria and became an active participant in the country's political and cultural life. Soyinka's literary career began in the late 1950s when he started writing plays for the University of Ibadan's theatre group. His early plays, such as The Swamp Dwellers and The Lion and the Jewel, dealt with issues of culture clash, colonialism, and traditional African values. Soyinka's plays were critical of both the African and European societies and challenged the prevailing narrative of colonialism and its impact on African cultures. His play, Death and the King's Horseman, is widely considered his masterpiece and is based on a real-life incident in Nigeria. In addition to his plays, Soyinka is also known for his poetry and essays. His poetry collections, such as Idanre and Other Poems and Ogun Abibima, are deeply rooted in Yoruba mythology and history. His essays, which are often political in nature, are collected in books such as The Man Died and Myth, Literature, and the African World. Winning the Nobel Prize for Literature. Wole Soyinka won the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1986, becoming the first African to be awarded the prestigious prize in that category. His win was a result of years of hard work, dedication, and excellence in the field of literature. In awarding Soyinka the Nobel Prize, the Swedish Academy cited his, quote, wide cultural perspective and his absorption in socio-political issues, as well as his vigorous and poetic language, which has been infused with African idioms and expressions. The Academy also noted Soyinka's ability to combine the tragic and the comic with an unsurpassed dexterity. Soyinka's win was seen as a major breakthrough for African literature, and it helped to inspire a new generation of African writers and artists. His achievement also drew attention to the importance of literary expression in promoting social and political change, and it helped to elevate the profile of African culture on the global stage. Soyinka's political activism has often landed him in trouble with the Nigerian authorities. In 1965, it is reported that Wole Soyinka invaded a radio station to stop the announcement of a fraudulent election. It was said that Wole Soyinka, armed with a gun, took over the station and stopped the announcement, and instead played his own pre-recorded tape that described how the election was stolen. Later that year, he was arrested for his outspoken criticism of the Nigerian government and spent 2 years in prison. He was released in 1967 after the outbreak of the Nigerian Civil War. In 1994, he went into exile in protest against the military dictatorship of General Sani Abacha, who had charged him with treason. Soyinka returned to Nigeria in 1998 after the death of Abacha and has continued to be an active participant in Nigerian politics. Support for President Muhammadu Buhari. Soyinka is known for his commitment to democracy and good governance, and his support for any government is often based on their adherence to these principles. In the case of the Buhari government, Soyinka literally expressed his support for Buhari's candidacy during the 2015 presidential election. Soyinka believed that Buhari was the candidate best suited to tackle corruption and provide a transparent and accountable government. However, over time, Wole Soyinka has become critical of some of the government's policies and actions. In particular, he has criticized the government's handling of the security situation in the country, including the Boko Haram insurgency and herdsmen attacks in various parts of Nigeria. He has also spoken out against the government's approach to issues of human rights and free speech. Despite his criticisms, Soyinka has also offered advice and support to the Buhari government in certain areas. For example, in 2019, Soyinka was appointed as the chairman of the National Theatre and National Troupe of Nigeria. In this capacity, he has worked closely with government to revitalize Nigeria's cultural heritage and promote the country's arts and culture. Overall, Soyinka's support for the Buhari government has been nuanced, based on his assessment of the government's commitment to democracy and good governance. Soyinka's role in the removal of President Goodluck Jonathan. Wole Soyinka did not play a direct role in the removal of President Goodluck Jonathan from office. While Soyinka was a vocal critic of the Jonathan administration, he did not hold any formal position in government or in any political party that could influence policy decisions. However, Soyinka was part of a wider movement of Nigerians who were dissatisfied with the Jonathan administration's handling of corruption, security, and the economy. This movement, which included civil society organizations, activists, and opposition politicians, played a key role in mobilizing support for the All Progressive Congress (APC) and its candidate Muhammadu Buhari in the 2015 presidential election. Buhari's victory in that election was seen as a rejection of the Jonathan administration's policy and a call for change by many Nigerians, including Professor Wole Soyinka. Relationship with Bola Tinubu. Wole Soyinka's relationship with Bola Tinubu, a prominent Nigerian politician and a former governor of Lagos State, has been the subject of some speculation and debate over the years. The two men have had a complex relationship marked by moments of collaboration and moments of disagreement. On the one hand, Wole Soyinka has been supportive of some of Tinubu's political initiatives, particularly in the areas of democracy, governance, and human rights. For example, in 2015, Soyinka publicly endorsed the All Progressive Congress (APC), the political party that Tinubu helped to found and that supported Muhammadu Buhari's candidacy for president. In addition, Soyinka has praised Tinubu for his role in promoting good governance and democracy in Lagos State during his tenure as governor. Wole Soyinka has described Bola Tinubu as a rare breed of politician who is committed to the people and who has worked to promote accountability and transparency in government. On the other hand, Soyinka has also been critical of Tinubu at times, particularly in relation to issues of corruption and cronyism. For example, in 2011, Soyinka criticized Tinubu for his alleged involvement in a financial scandal involving a private jet purchase. Wole Soyinka accused Bola Tinubu of using public funds for personal gain and of being involved in corrupt practices. In recent years, Soyinka has continued to voice his concerns about corruption and cronyism in Nigerian politics, including within Tinubu's political party. While Wole Soyinka has not publicly criticized Bola Tinubu directly, in recent years, he has called for greater accountability and transparency in Nigerian politics more broadly. Throughout his career, Wole Soyinka has received numerous awards and honors. In addition to the Nobel Prize, he has also been awarded the Anisfield Wolf Book Award, the Commonwealth Writers' Prize, and the Ajib Prize for Literature. He has served as a visiting professor at universities around the world. Wole Soyinka has also been a vocal advocate for democracy and human rights in Nigeria and Africa as a whole. He has been critical of corruption and nepotism in Nigerian politics and has called for greater transparency and accountability. In 2015, he founded the Citizen Forum, an organization dedicated to promoting good governance and social justice in Nigeria. Recently, after the 2023 presidential election, Soyinka was widely criticized for suggesting that Yusuf Datti Baba Ahmed is a fascist for calling for the suspension of the inauguration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who is the declared winner of the election. Notable Nigerian personalities, including Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, a renowned author, publicly condemned the octogenarian for the unguarded statement. Destruction of his American green card. In 2015, Wole Soyinka publicly announced that he had destroyed his green card, a document that signifies permanent residency in the United States. Wole Soyinka took this action as a symbol of protest against the election of Donald Trump as President of the United States. Soyinka had been a frequent traveler to the United States and had held a green card for many years. However, he was deeply critical of Trump's rhetoric during the presidential campaign, particularly his comments about Mexicans and his proposal to ban Muslims from entering the United States. In an interview with BBC News, Wole Soyinka explained that he had destroyed his green card as a statement of his refusal to remain in the United States if Trump was elected as president. He also called on other Nigerians and Africans to reject Trump's policies and to take a stand against racism and intolerance. Wole Soyinka's decision to destroy his green card sparked a public debate about the role of intellectuals and artists in political activism. Some praised Wole Soyinka for his courage and his willingness to take a stand against injustice, while others criticized him for what they saw as a symbolic gesture that would have little practical impact on Trump's policies. To conclude this documentary, Wole Soyinka is a literary icon and political activist whose work has had a profound impact on Nigerian and African culture. He has been a voice for social justice and democracy and has used his writing to challenge prevailing narratives about African cultures and history. Soyinka's contributions to literature and human rights have been recognized both in Nigeria and around the world, and his legacy continues to inspire writers and activists today. Thank you for watching this mini documentary. Please do not forget to subscribe and like this video. Share with as many of your contacts as possible. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.